All right. We got some people in here. This is awesome because I think that Left House here has the capabilities of producing this. And we've been really flushing out ideas inside the Telegram group. And I think the ideas have matured. I think that the idea of the reality TV show has matured a bit inside the community. I've gotten a little bit of feedback lately because, folks have taken, they've digested a little bit of what's going on, and they've gotten back to me. Recently, just like within the last few hours, I joined Desktop's Twitter space just earlier. He was saying that like it would be really cool if we had it to where people were able to make donations and type in text, and then that text is read out during the thing, and then we put those funds that were donated towards the grandiose prize, to where it just keeps on stacking up and publicly, so anybody could donate, just not even participating that way. But maybe that's a way that the live viewers can participate, the live audience, if we're able to make that actually happen, because our first goal is to capture everything that we can, and get some funnies, of course, and whatever sort of emotion drama happens and stuff. But then the second goal of ours is to have it to where the live stream audience can interact, and make it really exciting. So I know that idea has come across a lot, but Desktop has made some suggestions on how it could actually happen. He's got some experience of doing stuff in the field. In fact, he told me that one of the reasons why he quit doing that was because he was finding himself jeopardizing himself. He would go into areas during like protests in Denver, Colorado, and his phone would just say absurd things while he was around people that you wouldn't want that to be said. So he would fear for his life, basically. But one of the ideas that's new that he brought up was, why don't we have it to where people can wake up other people with making a donation and selecting a sound that they would hear in order to wake up. And then I had the idea, well, let's have it to where there's like a waking hour, and during that time the audience can tune in, and for a small price they could make a sound that's like a pre-recorded sound, and then for a little bit more price level they could say a custom sentence, and then a little bit more price level they could play a really fucking annoying song that we all hate in the morning, and that could be like a way to annoy people, if it was that they didn't get down to business and go to sleep on time. So that was just something that arose today. Let's see. So Shane is not here joining us. I sent him a DM, but he said he might be drinking a little bit tonight. I don't know if he still drinks or is giving that up or what, but it would be cool if we had him in the space. He's been looking at what it would take, like what equipment it would take for us to do live streams, or I'm sorry, like the live stream backpack. So to have a guy with boots on the ground, backpack, whole setup. Maybe we bought it in already like pre-made, basically, or custom, already figured out all the components. So I think him and Desktop would be really good to get together and exchange information and stuff, so that we can actually get this nailed down on what equipment we're going to need. Now, as far as the shooting time that we're shooting for and stuff, earlier I just threw the dates out for the February 22nd and have it for 14 days. With Left House's schedule, that's not possible. He's going to be editing for the next month, and he can talk further on that. And then we also have it to where possibly there's going to be supply shortages over there in LA because of the recent LA fires that haven't even been put out yet. Maybe they're going to have some, I don't know, rioting in the area. I don't know if that's like the reason why that place was chosen was because somebody raised their hand and said, I have a place in that area. So that's why we've sort of been leaning towards that. Oh yeah, and that's why it was put on the poll on Twitter, and then it was selected with I think it had like 30% of the vote. I forget. I'd have to relook at it. 35%, 36%. What other things are on my mind? I've talked to quite a few people that are video creators about creating a teaser for this whole event. And it's because we need more people to submit their interest applications, if you will, audition videos. But we also want to generate a little bit of a buzz and have something that's shareable for folks to start getting excited about this. So I owe one person a little bit more of explanation, and a few people have said that like one person said, hey, I've got a family emergency, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And then another person's like, hey, put stuff on me, I'm ready to go, and then hadn't come back to me. And then also I'm communicating with these video people, these commercial makers, possibly. I'm also asking them if they have any enthusiasm towards the postcards group as well, because I saw a need for postcards to have a commercial before this project was, before I even set foot in the possibility of this project of reality TV being created. So I'm juggling other things, and as I'm coming across these people that are in our community or our broader crypto community that can do things that I never have had anybody do for me, then you know, learning all together. What are the other things? I did set up an address for both the show funds that I'll be providing, and then also the prize funds that I'll start, and then I hope that the community will come behind me and donate as well as this thing grows. Like just recently, somebody made a really nice proposal on how it is that they could digitally market Pulse Chain to folks, and somebody who was wealthy in PDI, who had just experienced this huge pickup, was just like, hell yeah, like I'll put some money behind that in order for Pulse Chain to get more exposure and my existing PDI investment just grow even more exponentially. Like the PDI guy probably experienced it go up to 3 cents, and then now it's back down at 1 cent. So he would love for it to multiply all the way up to whatever amount, 8 cents and onward. Speaking of Pete, like, okay, so the reason why I mentioned that is because a well a well presented idea in our community could definitely win some funds going towards it, and I am prepared to put quite a bit down. It's just that it would be really awesome if it was spiced up or matched or something. I don't know. We'll leave that all to chance. And what else? So, Left House, hit me with it.
Yeah, hello everybody. How are we doing this lovely evening? Finally, it's good to get here and have a conversation with you. I know we've been trying to do this since before the holidays. So with the holidays and then like moving around a bunch, I just finally got settled. I did have to deal with the fires a little bit. I had an evacuation situation on the first night. The house I was in is fine. It was just mostly smoke. Still smells like smoke in the area that I'm in, like, and it probably will till like they put the fire out, because I'm about 6 miles, 6 to 8 miles away from like where the one of the fires is. So I might be a little bit behind on everything that's going on with the show and stuff, because it's been a minute since I've looked at the Telegram. But Shane has kept me up to speed on some stuff. But like from what I'm hearing, it sounds like a lot of people from within the community have ideas and are like stepping up with like skills. Like so it seems like that's kind of like awesome. It seems like that we should try to keep it in house almost, like try to keep it from like every department, everything that needs to be done. It would be amazing if it's possible, you know what I mean, to make that all happen within the ecosystem of the chain or whatever, because it promotes the chain. It also helps everybody that's on, like on the chain, because they're all working on it, and we're all promoting the chain at the same time too. So all that stuff sounds pretty cool to me. I think, yeah, I feel like coming up on February, even if I wasn't like trying to finish this film, I think it just feels like super fast, especially with like all of the some of the different tech stuff that you're talking about, which all sounds really awesome, like the people being able to chat in, but like just being able to set up all that stuff and make sure that it works, like having like a test of like the system before we're like bringing in contestants or whatnot would probably be, have time for that would be good, so I feel like we're like there. I don't know if there is a rush for you or anybody else involved, but like I feel like we're better kind of taking our time, like a month or two added to, like something like that, like where we're getting closer to the end of spring or something might be the best, so we can get everything and sort it out and have enough time to get it every one and thing we need.
Well, I really do think that number one is capturing everything with just cameras and not live streaming. And then a bonus is having the live stream set up and stuff working and interacting with folks. I don't think it would be a dud if we don't have it to where there's live stream stuff, but I don't think that everything needs to hinder on it. If you want to push it out a month because of the live stream stuff, I would say no. Like, right?
I see what you're saying. So you're like, so I guess that's also too needs to be sort of like, what is like the ultimate end goal? Like, what do you want? Like you want it to be what, because I know when Shane wants it to be
episodes.
Yeah. Okay. So you want it. Yeah. All right. So I know Shane talks about, he's like, it should be live streaming. It should be a live show or whatnot. And I'm like, well, maybe you could do both or something like that. So, because that like both to me would seems like, all right, you're like promoting the show as you're shooting it, and people would still tune into the final. I feel like,
and that's the goal, but the primary, I think, is the episodes, and I would love for other people to chime in on their genius ideas. And then I think that that we haven't wrung you out for all your ideas. I think that you need to make or you're capable of making a big impression on the plan going forward, or
yeah,
like the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, I feel like, once I kind of can ingest everything that is on the table, I feel like, or you know, kind of right at this moment, the way I'm approaching it is like, okay, like if I can figure out what it is that you want to do, then I can start, you know, building towards that or something, you know, like, so if like the idea, like the overall idea is pretty fleshed out, then it's like, all right, then that gives me like, you know, ground to start off from or go from there. But like if we're in a phase right now where it's like the community is like throwing ideas and we're still accumulating and brainstorm, that's awesome too, you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm saying, like, is that I don't think we need to rush it, we rush to the shooting line, you know, or whatnot, but like what we
I
can
think I'm
get
gonna
there
make a
pretty
tweet
quickly.
right now. Actually, I'm just gonna tweet out if we were to make a reality TV show, like what would you want to see, and see what people say. It's a good place to start.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's a very good place. But so yeah, so it's because like, you know, that's where I'm at. I'm kind of like, what is it that we want to do, and then once we know what that is, then I feel like we start plugging in the people and the equipment and all the items that we need to facilitate a house, and you know, cameras and lights and whatever it is that we need to do to make it all go.
Okay, so here is a question that I've been dying to ask you. Would you be able to have it to where your filming company, or whatever organization that you have, um, are you able to have it to where your name is the, I don't know, like organizer, to where we have it to where the law documents are like wrapped, wrapped up with your name on it?
Yeah. Yeah, like, so yeah, some like you're basically like you're saying like I would be the, like it would be like my production company would be the one that would be producing it. So like it's sort of like when I've made or like when I've written screenplays, and then like I sell it to the executive producer, you know, and like in this process I'm just explaining like it's, you know, then I go and I direct it and I make it, they give me the money to make it, but so in that transaction a lot of the times like I'll sell them the script, but I'll sell it to them for like $1 because it's actually like, you know, they're paying me more to direct and like just get the movie made, and it's like I'm not trying to charge a big budget there like when I made some of these movies. So like if you're saying something like where like you want to put control in legal control or whatever to like my company or whatever, something like that, is that what you're trying to say?
Like, okay, we're going to house and feed guys,
Yeah.
and we're going to have them sign off on us using footage and, material of them.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we're going to have to write that up and have that as a contract with each of the players.
Right.
And so I would like for your company to be the people in that document.
Right. So like if it's me that's doing the like producing, then it's like yeah, I would be hiring people to do stuff. So there's like a company that's like my friend's company, and they've, you know, done HBO and Showtime documentaries, like 4 or 5 of these films for them, and so like they know all of that like shit, you know, like, so I would probably hire them to like help me produce this or whatever, you know, something like that, because they have like all of that sort of clerical logistical stuff like on lock, and so they would kind of walk me through all that stuff basically, so I would know that, you know, I would be in like perfect hands, because you know most of the films I've made are way more like guerrilla and renegade, and although I've played by the rules and like had, you know, done insurance and like dealt with SAG and all that stuff, like the actors unions and stuff, and that's the other thing, like if we're shooting it in California, like we might need to keep it like kind of like you know, off the radar of like those unions and stuff, because then it starts to become a little bit more expensive, you know. And I don't know what they do for reality shows. Like that's something that we should actually look into to see like what sort of like union rules or whatever, because if there's certain states like Texas is a non-union working state, so you can go and shoot non-union films there, and like non-union performers can perform. I mean, union performers can perform in non-union projects in Texas, but like if you're out here in California, like and you're in the union, you might not be able to do the reality show if it's like a non-union show or like whatever, like I
They
don't, but
they
I
can't,
don't.
right? Like if you're union, you just can't do it. You have to say no.
Right. So I mean, literally, like that law, like technically by their gangster laws, it's all gangster shit, really. You know what I mean? It's like you're paying them to fee, whatever. We won't get into it.
I've had union friends do me favors, and they just go by aliases, and they're like, "You literally can't say that this was me."
Yeah, I mean, I'm just honest about all my shit. So like, I've done non-union stuff when being in the union. It's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard because it's like you have to pay dues every year, and like then you get a job, they take their little cut out of it and all that stuff. So, like I haven't paid dues or been in like the actual union in like probably almost a decade. But I've done movies, but I just don't care, like because it's all gangster stuff. Like that's why we're here in crypto and all that shit. But yeah, so it's just things we might want to look into, because if these unions catch wind or something, like, oh, and then the other thing to think about too is like for productions and stuff like that, there's like major incentive like tax breaks in, I'm not sure what states they are right now. I think it like New Jersey might be one, where like they give back like 30% um of your budget like back, in like tax returns or whatnot for going and like shooting in their city or their state or whatnot. So that's another thing like we might want to look into, because like some of them I think are even higher than 30%. I've heard certain states when they first start, like when they first open up, like, oh, we want you to come shoot here. Sometimes they're up to like 60-70% of your budget gets returned through like a return in the taxes or something. So, if you're putting up a bunch of money for it, it'd be nice to be able to get a bunch of that back.
But I don't want to put up a bunch of money. Like we need to scale down the budget instead of scaling it up.
Right.
And so if there's a situation where we're sitting there, should we have 2 filmers or should we have 3 filmers? Like we could just go down to 2 filmers. Like
Yeah, I mean, I also feel like if we want to do it cheap, I feel like it's almost more exciting and fun to do it the way that Shane keeps talking about it, and doing it where like the contestants are also the filmers. You know what I mean? So it's like to live stream or whatever, that's super freaking easy. You can do that with an iPad, your phone, a computer. So everybody has those things, like we could get maybe a couple of these like camera pack things that he's talking about. Like if we were trying to go out of the house into the streets, it would be easy to put up like GoPros all over the house. And it would still be, then at that point, like I would be cool with like 1 or 2 filmers just to rotate them in and out, like you'd only need 1 a day. And like, so you could still like film and kind of capture it in that television show style or whatever, however you want to do it, but then capture it and make like everybody in the room sort of like producing it, or like doing the editing, doing the loading it up, the live streaming, because it's kind of like, isn't that what it's sort of about, like streamers and then like KOLs, what influencers, whatever, people like promoting pulse chain, like so. And my idea, like, and I don't know if this is still part of it, but it feels like it should be a competition at who's the best at like onboarding or bringing people, into the chain.
Yeah, it's a requirement. In the existing rules, it's a requirement to have it every day have a pulse chain transaction, whether it's a purchase or a sale, because like you could start bartering stuff. You could start selling your time. And if it is that you're non-successful with that, then go find the faucet tent.
Okay. Faucet tent. I like it. It's hilarious.
So would that mean everyone brings their own computers, or you just go on your phone?
I was thinking phone.
Yeah.
And then also with the idea of having it to where like each person or multiple people, the players could be the people with the live stream backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
Dex Top was talking about how iLabs allows you to have multiple iPhones live streaming at the same time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's something we can look into.
Yeah, it does feel like, more like exciting to try to pull that off. And if all the contestants are doing it, and we have people that are shooting and like cameras on the walls or whatever, like we're kind of capturing everything, like we're getting every angle or our element of it, like, and it's really funny. And if somebody's shit goes down, it's probably other people's stuff is running, unless just the house system is going offline or something like that.
I always like to see whenever there's like two live streamers in the same area and to see each other's views, putting the full scene together a little bit more.
Yeah. I've seen that on like cam girl sites where like two girls are like making out, but then you're like, they both have a window open. You're like, oh, this is two different angles here. This is interesting. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, we know exactly
like when
what
you're
you're talking
watching,
about.
Yeah, when you're watching Asians, and then all of a sudden you realize that there's like 10 of them in the same room,
and they all have penises. Yeah, it's crazy. It gets wild. But yeah, that's the show we want to make, boys. This is it. Hilarious. I like it.
Yeah, this sounds like a different show than what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
Well, I didn't know there was going to be Asians making out.
Yeah, we got to ramp it up, right?
Yeah.
If we don't get any females, it would be tempting to pay some.
I mean, like before the time of Hex.
What about a wild SJ? She might do it, dude. She's constantly in her van.
Yeah, she actually gave a like to the first time I teased her about it.
Dude, so I've been talking a lot with Shill Gates. We should get you and Wild SJ hooked up on one of their spaces. They've been doing weekly spaces.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
So a Wild SJ and I, we know each other pretty well, so she might actually do me that favor.
Dude, that would be cool to have her.
Yeah.
but also to be able to go on their space and have this talked about. That'd be cool. Oh, definitely, dude. There was like there were a lot of people in that last space that they did. Actually, Shillgates was on MySpace this morning. So were you. But like, yeah, almost 400 people were in there. What?
When you said MySpace, I thought you meant like MySpace. I was like, "Fuck, that's back." Holy
when I
shit.
said it, it felt bad. It felt wrong when I said it.
That's so good. Like, it's fucking back finally. Jesus, I've been waiting for years,
dude. You've been waiting for MySpace to come back. What the fuck are you doing, dude?
It's like holding Hex. I've been holding MySpace ever since. You know.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks, man.
Oh, dude, MySpace would be a good shitter.
Yeah, now you're talking. That is funny. Yeah, so like what was I gonna say about this reality? So yeah, I think that because everybody is already that anyway nowadays. Everybody has the capability of like being a streamer. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Before Hex was even in existence, I remember watching like a Richard Hart or maybe it was right when Hex launched or something, but he was doing this one stream and he had like these 2 girls in bikinis with them. And he was like just asking them questions about crypto and then like taking,
God, I
questions from the
remember that
chat and
shit.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And it was just like he said it right then on the show. He's like, I'm doing this so you guys tune in. It was like almost like the beginning of the outrage marketing phase or whatnot. It felt like, a little bit of that was like, I don't think he had like defined it yet, but it was like he was already on that idea, I feel like.
Dude, that
But
that video, that specific one that you're referencing, is the exact reason why I said in one of the songs I did, Richard's not the same when there's girls around. Because, dude, he was so uncomfortable, bro. It was like so hard to watch that.
You're right. He was, he was kind of nerding out and worried about it. It was great.
That was funny.
It was very charming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
The Pokey Center says that he likes episodes.
Yeah.
Crypto
I think we
Crypto
can make
Crescent
that
said
happen.
challenges.
Yeah, episodes weekly and definitely challenges. Live streaming and fun content.
Yeah, so the way if we do it in this live stream way and we're still like capturing it with a cameraman or 2, then it's just kind of like when we get to the end, that's when we kill the fucking live stream camera. So we don't give away who won, you know what I mean? Like, but people can kind of see if it's like that, if there's a winner. I don't know if there's a winner.
If there's
right?
anything like that, you can't really live stream 24/7. Otherwise, it spoils everything. You know what I mean? For episodes.
Right. So there's a way, like, I think that there's probably ways that we could create like red herrings or fake endings and stuff like that. If we think about it ahead of time, you know what I mean? There's probably a way we could kind of bake it in to be like, all right, so this was what this will be what people think. And then when the show comes out, it's like, wait a minute, that's something else. Because we can edit it any way we want, really. Once we get to the end.
I think it'd be cool to do like a certain hour window or like a certain location where you can live stream, but you can't live stream like during a certain window.
That's probably a smart idea. Or there's like, that's it. Like there's portions of the day where we're live streaming. Maybe somebody is. But then like, while somebody's live streaming, we're like shooting like a game, with all the other contestants. The person that was live streaming, like they got immunity that week or whatever the fuck, or for that next challenge.
Dude, there's like so much. Dude, I want to say tokenomics because I'm so fucking cryptoed out of my mind. But there's so many different ways we can go creatively to make it entertaining with challenges.
Yeah.
Call it gameplay.
Yeah.
Are we going back to the Asian thing?
Gameonomics.
Asianomics.
Asianomics. That's a ticker. Now we're talking.
Yeah, that's a second ticker.
God damn. All I want to do is make coins. I don't want to promote them. I just want to make them. Because there's too many funny names. You know what I mean? Like,
we need more people who have the passion for promotion, not more people who have the passion for like the hot trigger button.
I know. You're right. No, I know. I'm not going to make another coin for a long time.
No, you can't.
Promise.
MySpace.
I know. I don't know why you said that. Or Friendster. That's even better, man. Like now you're getting old school. But that's not that. Both of those are good tickers. But yeah, okay. So there's so we basically need to like fucking like get all these ideas down into like what the thing is going to be too, right? Or is it pretty much you feel like you have a pretty decent understanding of like the A to Z of how the function of like what these people are doing in the house is?
Well, I mean, like you just said, I am experiencing it to where like people are starting to get more creative and comfortable with the idea. The idea is growing, it's maturing. So therefore, constructive feedback is coming back.
Cool.
Like what you guys were just doing. So I guess like let's just allow that to happen for another week.
Okay,
and
I like that.
let's emphasize with everyone that we want some content that we can pass around to folks and get them interested in either participating or witnessing. And then what I think Left House needs to do is do some investigations on what it is that is going to be needed of him. A few of the things we just touched on, and what would be an appropriate timeline. What would be a good time for this for me to move that February 22nd to a new date that's much more solid. That would be good. And then Shane, he's already got his work ironed out for him. And then
what's he doing?
He's investigating what equipment's going to be needed to be purchased in order for us to capture both audio and video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about that too, because I might have ideas for that. Like, and just how what I'm curious what he's looking at. But we'll talk to him after he crawls out of the bottle.
Cool. Okay.
I mean, I saw some text from him that said that he would be drinking soon because he was sad or something.
That boy can drink.
Yeah. Oh, I did consensus with him. I was with him for 3 days, like running around the convention. So
dude, I was just with him for like 6 hours, and he drank more beers than I could like fathom.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Well, I got y'all both beat because he dropped multiple beers on my carpet whenever he was partying with me. Multiple.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So
he put out the thing about the prank call his boss that fired him after 1 day.
That was hilarious.
My younger brother was like, "Wait a minute, though. Like, is he reliable?" And I'm like, "No, he's not reliable." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna call him and congratulate his boss that it told me to do the right thing and send him back."
That's hilarious.
Do that,
dude. I still haven't called him, but I am definitely calling them.
Dude, the only reason why I haven't yet is because I didn't know how to film myself with the same phone that I was going to call from.
Did you figure it out?
Funny.
No, but had I figured it out, or it just occurred to me like I want to call him, but at the same time, it's the only one that I could film with.
I was having the same conversation with my brother, so I was thinking about. I have an iPad, so I'll probably just do it tomorrow, and, like, film it from the iPad and go on speaker. It's got to be done.
I got like 4 phones.
Oh yeah, there you go. You should fucking call him from 3 of them and film with 1 of them.
You just never hang up. You keep calling. Right?
Dude, that's a good
dude.
That's what I'll do. I'll be 3 different characters.
Eventually, they'll get so annoyed. Text message, call, phone, whatever. Just burn
that'd be hilarious. Wait a minute.
Okay, yeah. So check this out. I got a question.
We all need to call them at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know what this. I don't have any phone numbers. I have a question about the reality TV show in regards to Pulse Check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Okay, yeah. So I listened in, and you were talking about screen time or doing live. So like live discussion is limited to a certain amount of hours per day or whatever it's scheduled to. So then it's just video camera and people in a house. They're not able to go on the phones or be in contact with the outside world until they're allowed to. Is that what you're saying on that? And then number 2 was talking about putting on a show with Richard Hart's only fake brother. He's doing the sound. He's looking up the sound shit. He's going to give you guys a good number when all he does is drop fucking beers on the floor when he goes to party. That's how it goes.
So Shane, let's call him Shane right now. And Shane is, as of right now, he's not in the running to be a character on the show at all. And then so if he's able to offer his analysis of everything and be a part of the team that creates the thing, and never
Yeah,
be
just doing like
shown.
technical stuff, the cameras
Yeah,
and how to set up the sound.
Oh
as,
and
yeah, he's
how
as
not
of
going to
right
be
now,
filming or
shit.
whatever. He's just, you know, we're just trying to
But
figure
he's
out
got
like
all the
technical
footage.
shit.
You don't think he's gonna plug into the? He's gonna put an extra wire in the side, and he's got light.
Yeah, he's
out
going to
there.
electrocute himself. But as long as we
He
film
has
it, it's going to be
shots.
awesome.
Someone's got to film him doing that.
Yeah,
Right?
well,
Swinging
that's
that
what
some-
yeah, I mean, that's why
Yeah,
I
we
feel
got
like
to
if
do, man. I'm
everybody's
here to
filming,
verify.
I feel like even the cameraman, everybody in the room is
There needs to be like
live.
7 cameramans. Like everybody's filming each other to make sure shit goes fucking straight. You know what I mean? I mean, then we're gonna have to figure something else out on top.
Or it goes wrong. You know, either way, it's good
Like go
TV.
sideways.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, we could design this in a way where like nobody knows. Like instead of like, oh, you know, get them to sign like NDAs to be like you can't tell who won. We could kind of
Right.
design it in a way that nobody knows who won until after we finish editing it.
Well,
You know
whoever,
what I
I
mean?
think,
Like,
you know what, if it's going to be based on pulse chain, it's whoever out of the people that are in the place, let's say, make the best coin that makes the most greeners in the time that they're there. And they launch it on pulse chain. Go fuck your hats, everybody.
yeah.
Or
yeah. I mean,
maybe that's not
like,
the best idea, but how big is this house? How many rooms? Okay, what's you guys' plan? Like, you guys are actually planning, like, this is an actual thing?
yeah, it's been in the works for a long time, longer than I've been in the conversation.
I've heard about it for like a while back, right? Yes.
Imagine there being 4 bedrooms that are cut in half.
All right, so you're talking 8 heads.
Yeah, so between 6 and 8 head, and half their time will be spent with sensory deprivation inside the house, meaning they've got time alone to themselves. They can meditate or sleep or, you know, exercise.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, so time on, time off, basically. You got
so that's half the day, or the better half of the day, and then the other half they'll be out in the field doing the challenge, which is to make pulse chain transaction, a buy or a sell of at least $5 worth. They'll be given allowance at the beginning of the game. These are the ideas so far.
Okay, yeah. Keep going, man. Yeah, that sounds okay. All right.
Given allowance at the beginning of the game only lasts for 14 days. So imagine you not being very good, so you like overpay for something in order to get somebody to accept your pulse chain for an item out there in the field, and then so you use up your allowance pretty fast, and then now you need to do something. So
you're broke.
Do you barter, or do you sell your time or your knowledge of crypto, or do you strike up a gig deal? Like maybe you bring your guitar and start playing that on the side of the road. I don't know. But you could also,
or like another challenge is like, you know, they go out in the field and they got to get people they have to onboard people on the pulse chain. And it's like, you know, they got like 2 hours and they're running around the mall trying to get people to pull out their wallet, you know, like download an Internet of Time money or wallet or whatever, just kind of like walking them through it or whatever. And whoever gets that's points, right? Something like that.
That's what I just described, is like,
yeah,
to get your check for the day is to make a pulse chain transaction of some sort, whether it's a buy or a sell. And technically you could do a buy, and which means you like a buy for nothing, and you could just be gifting people pulse chain.
Right, but how much so they all start with 0 to start with?
No, you get an allowance at the beginning, but then you have to make,
how much?
You have to make do. I don't know.
Okay, Roger. Okay, we don't know.
Let's say it's $200 worth. To where over the course of 14 days, you're gonna dwindle that down.
Dwindle it down where you got to pick up a shovel, bud.
After the first week, you'll dwindle it down pretty bad. But there's another aspect to the gifts and the gameplay here. So one of my ideas is to have a crypto faucet tent, and that tent is not in the same location each day. It changes, but that makes it to where, like, whenever you go out and you're looking around for your transaction, to meet up with the people that you made plans with the day before, because you made
it's kind of
friends
like
with
a
those
mission to
guys.
go to a new place to go find where the tent is. You got to go like,
You
different
always got to
area.
be keeping your eyes open. Yeah. And then also the people that because you have to get a pulse chain transaction per day in order to get that day like ticked off and get
You get voted out if you don't do one transaction per day. You're out. You get kicked out of the house.
Well, I think what it should be is you add up your ticks per day, and then it's whoever has the most, and if there's a tiebreaker, then it comes down to like Richard Hart sci-vive trivia, basically.
Okay, for a tiebreaker, sort of.
So like, let's say that out of 8 people, 2 people are actually able to get 13 days ticked off, and then then they have a tiebreaker, and this is for like the grand prize of multiple thousands of dollars.
What if then the first day that one person sends something to a shitty address and gets everything burnt on the wallet?
I think they should just
What happens?
catch up.
Do they get kicked off the show, or do they
drama.
can they have a new chance? Yeah. Can they
so
keep
like
going
somebody brought the idea of how nobody should be eliminated and everybody should be given the chance, like, because we're free feeding and housing somebody for 14 days. Let them have the experience.
But they gotta they gotta take out the garbage or do like a shitty job.
I don't know. And then also another idea of like gifts and gameplay is we could have prize boxes with NFTs. Therefore, somebody can go up to the prize, like find the prize box out there in the field and type in the wallet seed phrases and transfer that NFT.
Then they can get that.
Wallet.
I think we could do, should have another, game could be where we show them Richard Hart, chats or interviews or whatever. And then we like could make them have to quote, like the episode they just watched, and the person who can like say the most Richard Hart lines or whatever could win. Because it'd be fun to get people up there trying to, sort of almost like performing the as Richard or whatever, like doing, and seeing if they could like remember his, most of what he said accurately.
That would be kind of neat, like have it a Richard Hart impersonator.
Yeah.
Yeah, he puts on the shirt and he goes dancing on stage and says, "Hey, not your keys, not your coins."
Top hat.
That's right.
Take the same pauses and use the same words.
Yeah. The person that's the most like, impersonates them the best wins the tick.
So Richard has done some self-help videos.
Yeah.
Where they're just short and he's staring into the camera, and he's got like and a lot of them, I think he's got a glittery pink curtains behind him, and he's dressed nicely, and at the time he has like a rosy face and stuff, and those were done a long time ago.
Top hat RH days, you said?
Yeah.
Sci-fi days.
Yeah, before he started designing Hex or getting ready to launch Hex and stuff. And so the reason why I bring this up is because he created these 15 to 20 videos. And so I thought that, actually lately what I've been doing is combing through those and figuring out what the true message is in each one of them, and hoping that I could sort of find some little way to turn that into trivia and have it to where like there's some sort of there's something that we can instill each day in from each one of those individually. So like maybe have it to where the folks right after their sensory deprivation time, like whenever they wake up in the morning, then they watch one of these videos, and then that message stays with them throughout the day, and maybe they think
Maybe
back
they
to
get
it,
tested on it. Yeah, that's right.
and then they get tested on it later on. Yeah. So the idea is like, okay, we gave it to you at an opportune time so that you would remember it, and then it's up to you to think back on it throughout your day in order to make sure that you remember it, because it might come surface up as a quiz thing later on. But of course, like, people could just use pen and paper and record
right,
it.
and maybe the test won't be on that day, but the test will be like later on.
Yeah? And that's what I was getting
like
at. With
6 days in. Yeah, that's right.
Like, say it's fucking day 14 and you're doing a fucking tiebreaker with somebody, and you know, it's every little point counts on this test. I don't know.
What's the question? Let's see. I bet you there's people in the room that can answer the question right now.
Dude, if SJ makes it on the show, she's gonna win no matter what.
Well, do you think that she's the best communicator with crypto? Like,
oh yeah. So I mean, I guess it depends on how you win the show, but she just, I mean, I think she's read Sci-Vive way more than everybody else. Is all I'm saying.
She's dealt with Sci-Vive material way more than
everybody else. Like literally read the entire book for an audiobook.
Yeah, so, like, translated that shit.
Yeah.
But imagine her getting stuck talking to a gold bug, trying to get him to.
Oh, dude, that would be so funny to watch.
And then just spending too much time just spinning her wheels, thinking that, you know, eventually she's going to sell this guy on it, and she wastes the day away and loses her tick. Because if we have it to where there's a curfew, then, you know, there's an ending time of the day, and maybe if you don't make curfew before curfew, like you know, if you're anywhere late, then you lose your credit maybe for the day.
Ooh,
what do you think? Okay, so what do you think about bringing in outside people? So let's say it's day number 4, the show's going, yeah, and then you want to bring in. Well, here's a question:
Charles Hoskins.
Would you want to bring in someone in? Yeah, but yeah, bring in some outside personality, and then each individual kind of gets their chance to shill or whatever, you know, and see what their best tactics are at.
Well, that's why it's so fun that, like, people can interact with folks out in the wild, because like Dolo was sharing last time we talked about it. Hey, will you mute yourself?
Yeah, whoever's not speaking, mute them, right, please.
So Dolo was saying, like, he's into skateboarding, so he's going to find a skate shop. Whatever town it is that this is going to be held in, he's going to see if there's a skate shop, and because he speaks the same language, but we can restrict it to where, like, he has to make a new transaction with a new person every day. You can't go back to the exact same person. And how we're gonna know is we're gonna look at the blockchain, and then also there's a little bit of honor system if you've got some sort of a ghost.
Okay, that you're question. So let's say the $200, 200 buckies worth of whatever the first initial is to contestants in the show. What happens if someone puts that in LP right away on Paul Sachs and they're getting transaction fees through the things? Does that count as transactions per day?
That's pretty interesting, but I think we should not allow that.
Okay, just checking, man, because
that's actually a really that would be a really cool thing, entrepreneurial thing, but let's
I don't think it can be DeFi though. You can't earn on DeFi. You know, like that would be that'd be too easy.
It's straight peer to peer.
I also don't want people to gift to your wallet either. So I think all 8 players, their wallets need to be separated from the outside world. Only the
Yeah,
people
because even
inside
like,
this town that they
like
interact with.
for people watching, like it should be about onboarding. And if we start getting too like into DeFi stuff like that, people are gonna be like, well, fucking turn this shit off. It's boring.
Like, let's just get
about.
clicky. There's like, what are all these numbers that are in all these percentages? What is it?
Yeah. Like we got to keep it a little bit broader. I think like more fun in like, yeah, just like like I think if you're a normie, you might look at crypto people as like a fucking cult or like they're freaks or whatever. So putting us in the streets with the other people is, I think, gonna be the money. That's gonna be the funny shit. Like, especially like when it happens, like when somebody onboards somebody, like, because it's in my mind, I'm like, that's impossible. You can't onboard people in the streets. So like to make people do it's gonna be great.
Dude, it happens to me all the time. That's my daily life, though. I went to the weed store the other day. I tried to buy some weed, and there was some chick that worked there. She was looking pretty good. I asked her for her phone number. She said, that'll be $1 million. I said, do you take crypto? She's like, no. I was like, no dice. You know what I'm saying? I don't have $1 million. Yeah, I don't have $1 million buckies lying around, obviously. But it was like, I was like, wait, you really don't like crypto? Like, honestly? And she was like, I was amazed. It blew my mind. She's like, no.
Yeah,
like,
blows my mind too.
Yeah, she was like, I don't even like the internet. I was like, you don't like the internet? What are you talking about? Oh my God. And it just blew my mind. I went away a bit disappointed that day.
Yeah, amen.
I was at the coffee shop and some girl had a moth on her chest, tattooed. So it reminded me of the DeFi puzzles. So I whipped out a business card and asked her if she liked puzzles. Put that in the tip jar with the $1 bill. So another thing that we did recently was a poll asking everybody on Twitter, hey, are you interested in the participants of the reality TV show having costumes or having it in the form of mascot or Shakespeare or monk? These were the ideas that came up, or none at all. And the poll actually had it to where none at all was like 48%. And then so 52% was somewhere in a type of costume.
Well, this is a fun way to do this. Maybe like, what if we have a wheel of memes? Like a spin the wheel on the wall somewhere, and like one of the contestants spins it every morning, and like whatever it lands on, we can have none at all, and then like and as an option on the wheel, but then have
really
like
good
Pika
point. That's a good idea.
and different, like so that way some days they're just dressed like themselves, and other days like you guys all have to dress like fucking.
Ooh, I like this. It's like
Like
a more
Spider-Man from Pulse Chain or whatever. Yeah, something like that would be good.
So my only concern there would be like the size of the costume. Like, does it fit a person? Or like, is it going to be that most of the players are all men about the same size?
Good question. I think we could probably get like
everyone has their own pre-allocated costume that they don't get to choose, but that way you can like, I mean, if everyone knows what like, you're not going to know until you have to wear it. But let's say it's like,
I actually think it's fucking hilarious.
Wear it.
It might be funny though if we just get one size, and it's like,
or one size,
you're big. You just have to wear it, and it's small.
Yeah, you just got. Yeah, if you're a little, if the thing don't fit, you still gotta fucking wear it. If your arms are sticking out the sleeves by like 4 inches, doesn't matter. Shove that thing.
If you're a midge, and it's an extra
it's like way too big. Yeah, you just go. Yeah, pull up your. Yeah, roll up your pants.
Yeah, we can have different sizes, and they can all fight for them. Like, no, man, I'm a size large, whatever. Like they can, make deals.
So then maybe the costumes are sort of like things that are extra attire rather than like things that engulf your entire body.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a shirt, like a t-shirt, rather than like a full-on fucking costume deal.
Like an
accessory or something, like a mask or
a mask. Yeah. Like
yeah, or
well,
like a
Josh,
mascot head or
hold on a
something like
second,
that.
Josh,
like a dress.
your Luigi costume, like that's just like a one size fits all thing, right?
Pretty much adult male.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like if it's shit like that, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you
it
know
doesn't
what
take
I
up a
mean?
lot of
Like, yeah, it doesn't. It's like if they're a large man, they don't fit. It'd be really cute and funny if they just have to try to pull up the pants.
Look, living in LA for the time that I lived out there for, I think it was like 7 years, 8 years. And just like the type of characters that you would just see on the street, like the way they're dressed, you're just like, damn, this is like a movie. Every day.
I'm in LA myself. I've been here since '99, so
yeah, so
I'll
every
back
day is
you
like
up.
a movie, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like
No, I shit you not. Like I used to work at this record store, and it would be like 2:00 on a Wednesday, and like a couple would walk in, and they were wearing like from head to toe the most elaborate looks, the most expensive like gothic capes, and
Yep.
they're just stepped out of Game of Thrones on Wednesday at 2, and they're just record shopping, and they're in these outfits,
Yep.
like yeah, full blast.
So if we got large male outfits, then they can be sort of like scrunchied up for smaller people, and then larger people are able to squeeze into it.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a good
so.
idea.
Yeah, I think so.
So one of the ideas,
Yeah, I'm a medium. I'm sorry.
one of the ideas that I had back in the day was if we had a wheel that we spun before we even show up, and then we have it to where so you spin the wheel, then it's decided what character you are, and then you have it to where your sizes or your measurements are taken, and then it's tailored specifically to you.
What? So you get your shit tailored
that
if
could
you
work.
answer the thing right?
So like maybe our first ever episode of this thing is all of our players on the screen, and the randomized wheel is turning. And so like the first player, your character, your costume is decided right then and there. And then we know your measurement sizes.
Yeah, I do.
We
I
get
like
it
that
tailored
idea.
to you.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. And yeah, I like that.
And then 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, the show starts.
That turns into like a segment.
I was thinking,
you can that's like a, if you're watching Survivor, that's like one of their like puzzles or something. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, it's an event.
Yeah, it's like
an
event.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's great. I like that a lot.
But would people tell about what their fucking costume would be, and then you could like, I don't know. Maybe don't let people know what's going to happen before
the reveal would be fun. The reveal,
yeah. But so like, should the costume? Are people happy to wear these fucking costumes? Are they like?
Hopefully not.
Or like,
right. So is it like a punishment thing?
If there's
like
you get off the plane or something, instead of it's like somebody standing there with like a piece of paper and your name on it, it's somebody standing there with the costume, and then you're just like,
or wearing the costume.
Oh shit,
that's good. Yeah, I mean the costumes. I think I don't know. You were mentioning like, was it the Pika people? Like if people are gonna like, memes want to like be sponsors or something like that to the whole game. You know what I mean? Then they could like put up their mascot or something like that.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Oh, right. Have it to where a meme community is able to buy out a spot.
Yeah, fucking brilliant.
Because then you could have like the Spider-Man for Pulse Chain. You could have Pika. You could have some fun ones depending on who.
Yeah, it would be lit. That would be lit.
Yeah, Big Brain would definitely make the Spider-Man thing happen.
Dick with butt.
Yeah.
So whoever
Turkey would make the dick with butt happen. Like we would have.
Dick with butt costume. Correct.
Oh, that's amazing. I want to see that. I
hope there's a lone Pepe.
Yeah, there's a Pepe for sure. costume, definitely.
Yeah, but to see some fucker running around in the dick with butt costume is going to be the best thing ever.
Dude,
Well,
I
you know
told
what?
my
Okay, so do
girlfriend
you think?
I was going
Go ahead.
to Halloween as Dick with Butt, and she was like, I'm making other plans, and she was being serious. I was like,
Yeah, she was actually serious. Like, no dice on that.
Oh wow!
Okay,
We're
do
no
you
longer
think
together.
that so? Yeah, it didn't work out. Do you think that in the thing, so when someone they don't make the transaction per day, right, Eco? So transaction per day, whatever. If they don't make that, they get like a -1 on the thing, right? So they started.
No, they just don't get a tick for the day.
Okay, so no tick for a day. How many no ticks
didn't
in a row do they get
get
before they
their
have to wear a
objective.
costume? And then this costume thing that we think of, like other communities, then this is a weird idea that you guys all brought up together. So other meme communities can basically vote into, like, okay, if it's the Pepe crew that wants to be like the dunce hat wearing motherfucker that didn't do transactions per day for 4 days, now has to wear the fucking Pepe costume for the fucking 24-hour period.
Dude, I actually really think the idea of the community being able to donate to change what's happening is a brilliant way, not only for fundraising but for engagement. That's like, I think you should definitely add a community, like where communities can send to a wallet.
Because other guys
and
would
that's
love
how
to
they
see
vote.
Hexicans dressed up in like their costumes. It'd be hilarious for them.
Yeah, dude, I
They'd be
like that a
they'd
lot.
get after that.
So maybe that can be a part of that wake up hour in the morning, that first hour that people are awake. Somehow we can put it to like what costume is selected. Somehow we need to make it to where, like, if you start out with a certain costume, you don't have to wear that throughout the entire 14 days. You're not stuck with it. There's opportunities
For the 14 days you were in a
14
stretch,
days,
you're gonna get filthy, bro. Come on.
Oh dang!
But that would be kind of funny how if they had to, and then
Oh,
they were all
dude.
fucked up and dirty at the
Oh
end.
yeah.
There'd be
dude.
nothing left. It'd just be like shorts and the fucking.
I know they would all be ripped up. It gets harder to onboard somebody when you look like a crackhead dressed.
Straight goods coming out of the bushes like, what's
Yeah.
up? How you doing? What?
That's hilarious.
Good thoughts though.
Okay, so everybody brainstorm on what we can do about the costumes, and then let's also utilize our communications to let the communities know that we're thinking about this, and that they might have the opportunity to fund a costume creation, and then have it as a part of this reality TV show, and then interact with it as well, and get the exposure and stuff like that. And then also the retirement of the costume, we could pop it in the mail and send it to somebody.
What was that last part?
Retirement fund
retirement,
for people? What's going on here?
No, retiring the
costume afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I see.
yeah,
And,
you
like,
got
send
to
it
you got to
to
get it
somebody as,
cleaned
like, a
and you got to.
souvenir or something.
Can you sell it as an NFT if you take a picture of it?
Well, somebody might want it. Like I wanted the race car pit guys suits after the NASCAR thing. I wanted one of those. I think it would be an interesting offer. These meme coin suits. If the community is like fundraising to pay for it in the first place, if we were able to get them to pay for it, then we could mail it to them afterwards because they paid for it.
Yeah, and then at that point you might not know if Hex Toys might even make something out of it and then create an NFT out of the whole joint anyway.
Yeah, that's possible. You know, I mean, I could see it'd be rad if it snowballed in that way where everybody like kind of started to pitch into it.
Is it all
Like
crypto-based costumes? Like, so you'd be like, oh, I got a Bitcoin costume for the day. What the fuck? I gotta wear a Bitcoin costume for the day.
Dude, yeah.
It's like, oh, it's
Maybe
the
you
biggest
just let the
meme.
communities
You know?
vote with sending in their meme coin to this wallet.
Just send it in. What?
Like whoever sends like
Oh
the
wow,
most,
yeah.
like the top 8
Top
highest.
senders get
Yeah.
whatever coin they send in, and be like, okay, that's the ETH costume now today.
Yeah,
Dunce
yeah,
gets
yeah.
to wear the ETH costume. Yeah.
And just keep that in the grand prize wallet, and use that as a uh, some sort of like voting situation.
Yeah.
However, we wouldn't use those funds and sell the stuff, and you know, fund the costumes creation with those funds. Instead, it would be a voting thing.
Yeah. So there's more. It's more than just exposure. Like they're wearing your costumes. It's more than that. So they can vote for other things like continuously.
What if we had it to where like your rank decides the rank of costumes? Well,
Oh, the quality. Oh, so whoever's community sends like the lowest, they get a really poor quality costume.
Yeah, it's like break apart, like duct taped up. So
like the person who's in the lead, the player that's in the lead in the stats and stuff, then they wear the very next day they wear the costume that is in the lead on the donations stuff.
Oh, I like that.
it's like a soft
Actually,
shell.
that's really good.
That's fun.
I think I like that angle more. I like that.
But that creates a problem. Like what if like we started the show and then a new coin, meme coin popped in and said, oh, we're going to dominate, and we don't
So
even have a costume for them.
you would have to say you have to get your votes in by this time, because after that it's irrelevant until it resets.
Okay, so that means that we've got like 6 to 8 communities, meme coin communities, to really get involved heavily.
Here's the thing: it's gonna be competitive. It's gonna snowball. So like, I can already see this playing out. Dude, if it were me and I was in a community where we wanted to get a costume shown on there, you start by throwing like $20 in, and then if somebody passes you know how this game plays out, where it's going to be a lot more tickers than just 8.
That's good though.
Yeah. And dude, getting the involvement like real time from everybody is like perfect. It's like perfect marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Because then at some point, say whoever's in the lead, everybody's gonna start, for some odd reason. Everybody might just see that one coin pump because the community's just pumping it, and then next thing you know, like maybe more than just a pump, like people are just pumping their own, they're just pumping their coins, trying to outpace the other coin in general in the ecosystem.
Yeah, and then there's the whole market that's going to do its thing.
Yep.
So like you could start off in yeah, I mean, we could do it based on supply of these coins or based on dollar amount, but dollar amount definitely does throw in a bunch of variables.
Yeah.
I think we should probably do dollar amount, because like what if somebody puts in a coin that's worth like 5 times the amount, but yet we're doing is looking at the unit. like the amounts of units. So
yeah.
it's a 1-to-5 ratio with the units, but it's the same dollar amount. So like whenever it is that we're like viewing the list, I think the dollar amount would be really easy to view. I guess we could just toggle the unit column as well, but no, like
Also,
I could
there should
do a
probably
shit ton
be
of Pepe.
rules about, don't you think, about like new coins not being able to do it? Because you can,
Like after it's decided what costumes are going to be used, it's set to those 8, to where like new coins that come in, those are going to be ignored. But I mean they'll get their billboard display on the grand prize winning wallet, but they won't we won't have time to create their costume, you know.
But
if they
you
decide to
should
become
still keep like a donation thing going, like where they can like maybe sway other things, not just costumes, but like you can make them like, I don't know how you want everyone earning, but dude, if I'm on a reality show, I'm all the way in. So like if somebody wanted me to be vegan or something, or just like change my diet or change whatever, like I mean, if the community is voting for that, I'm in. I'll do it.
Yeah,
Like bleach my hair or whatever it is.
That's like awesome what you're saying there, because I'm like sitting here and I keep thinking sort of like this is could almost be sort of split, where it's like, the live streaming shit, that's obviously going to be more for like us, for like the crypto folk, but like the actual show and the episodes, like if it's done broad enough where it's like stuff like that, where it's like the costumes, like it doesn't need to, for an audience member that's not in crypto or whatever, they're not going to care about like too much of the intertwinements that are there. They can be there for, the crypto people that are watching and all that stuff.
It has to be like,
but as a layer, yeah. But like stuff like, oh, you have to change your diet. You have to, like these types of like kind of shenanigans, I feel like is what is going to make a normie keep watching.
The suffering is what makes the entertainment.
Yeah, that's always it, right?
Facts. The struggle to get to the next destination, or the struggle to just even watch somebody try to communicate what they're doing with somebody else out in public is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I love that aspect too.
Especially if you get somebody that's very like
we should do a game or whatever we call that, where we set up blind dates for all the contestants, and they have to try to onboard their blind date.
Oh my god,
that would be amazing just to see, like, and the person coming up on the blind date, they won't know that they're being there to be shilled, like they're just thinking they're there on a
question
is
she hot? Like, are you setting these people up?
I think they should be hot.
Should be pretty decent, right?
Should be like, they should be amazing. That would be the best. Because then it would be even harder. It's almost like going back to, it's like when Richard, like we were saying earlier, like when Richard Hart had that early show with the girls in bikinis, and how he was like a little nervous.
A little nervous.
Yeah, then at that point, at that point, we're gonna freaking. You're in LA, you swiping on nothing but OnlyFans girls anyways. And then they got a lot of money, and they're going to sit there and be like, oh, this is what you guys are doing? I'm already doing this type of thing, blah, blah, blah.
I've had this conversation with OnlyFans girls, like in real life, that I've met at bars. I met a couple. This one girl, there was a OnlyFans girl, and her dude was a crypto guy. And they were like, basically campaigning that they were the same, and like this guy was like, yeah, people look at me like funny because I'm in the crypto, like I've had people be really negative towards me, and the girl's like, yeah man, they're fucking pathetic, or whatever. And they're like, I was like, this is the best couple in the world, but they like were relating on their tech businesses or whatever. I'm like, this is awesome. Hilarious.
Dude, just following Left House for around for a day would be the most entertaining show.
Oh man, lately with these fires, for sure.
Yeah, with a fire, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So does the guy? Let's say the blind date situation happens on like episode whatever 5. Let's say if you make it to fucking number 5,
that's
and
what I'm thinking.
you get matched up for a blind date with what should be, and it could be I don't know if it's all like males in this or it's like females in there too, right?
Well,
So
if there's
vice versa.
ladies,
So
we'll
it's
get
like whatever, man. You hook up the person on the other
a
side.
for
That's
the
like
lady, you know.
yeah. So I'm saying so like hook up the ladies in the room if there's you give them a nice looking guy. Vice versa, if there's a cap in the room, give them a nice looking woman there, right? So it's okay. And then what happens if the guy ends up on that blind date and reels so hard and onboards that blind date and then never shows up to the show again? They just take off. Does that motherfucker get like a 10-point extra?
This is why you have contracts.
All right.
I think if somebody leaves the show because of one of the blind dates, we want that to happen. Like
that's right. That's a win, man. That's like, ooh, that guy. All right, that's cool.
That's a victory. That's hilarious. But fucking, like I would want to watch that though, is what I'm saying. Like I would want to see that episode. So those are the things I think, you know what I mean? Like as we're gonna, it's impossible. Like when we're always building in crypto, like to stay like broad, but like try to think of like more broad ideas that like, can tie you to onboard people in, like it's like, like
to capture that. Yeah, it would be cool, right? To capture that moment where whatever dude went on a blind date, reeled it.
Thrasher magazine did it with like skateboarding for years, and like they would get like two different teams, like two different skateboard teams, and they would go, or three of them, and they'd go on the road and do all these like iconic challenges, and sometimes some of them were like drinking beer through their asshole and stuff like that, like they were doing like some crazy stuff.
It was damn it, what was the name of the show? It was Thrasher, not
like something road or something.
It was some other shit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was like the something road, but yeah, I watched like when
King
I
of the
found
Roads, King of the
Road. Yeah,
there you go.
It's so good, man. But yeah, like maybe even like watch some of those episodes or whatever to get ideas, because those guys fucking nailed it.
Yeah, they had great ideas, especially when Jake Phelps was alive. Rest in peace. He came up with most of those ideas, to be honest, himself.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them were like things that other iconic pros had done back in the day, or whatever. Even like the Jackass guy, some of that stuff. But like the butt chug thing was something that somebody had done or whatever. So like they would put these weird like gross challenges in there, because there's a bunch of those in the history of skateboarding. But yeah,
exactly,
stuff like that's fun. And that was on Vice. That was like a Vice.
Yeah, that
show.
Shit was on Vice.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I think it was on Fuel TV too.
Fuel. Was it an MTV thing at first, or no? I don't
know. Nah. It started. I think it just started as like a mixture between Vice and just like YouTube.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was fun as shit though.
They had a lot of good ideas, especially like in that show.
Yeah.
And the show the show you guys put in the Telegram had me crying, bro. Shorty was explaining everything, dude. She was like, "This was the worst reality TV show ever." You had futuristic. Obviously, everybody want to go to the future because nobody wanted to be in the past.
That's right.
Man, not too long ago, I started watching like the old school reality shows, like the Flavor Flav shows, like Flavor of Love. And this was like in the 90s or whatever when these shows came on, and it was like the beginning of reality television. So like they didn't know what they were doing yet. So the rules and like things were like, girls were like getting into fist fights and stuff on it. And then like Flav lines all the girls up and like to tell them about their next mission or whatever. and this one girl like poops like right on the floor. Like she
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
remember that shit? That was so funny, man. Like yeah, and then they just handle it in the show and like going to like confessionals with Flavor Flav, and he's like, man, no, she's got to go, you know. Just fucking
He's like, I ain't never seen a woman shit on the floor before.
I know. It's so crazy. But yeah, those reality shows were wild, man. Or the Bret Michaels one is another one where it's just like they get in the house with like some old like 80s fucking heavy metal hair band dude, and these ladies just get hammered shit faced or whatever. And like they're like one gets kicked out and she climbs over the fence to get back in or whatever. It's fucking, they're just nuts. The rules are just full chaos. It's great.
So Josh, would you be willing to make some sort of a teaser that introduces the idea of having a costume on this reality TV show?
So like what approach? Like what kind of a teaser are you talking?
I don't know. Can anybody think of a way to introduce this to a meme coin community?
Well, what would be the information that you want to relay in it? Like,
Yeah,
you know
just
what I mean?
express
Like,
exactly what you want relayed first.
like technically, you know, like what's the message?
Okay, so we're going to offer up the costume sponsorship. So the costumes are left up to donators to influence what's going to be on the show. What I want to say characters, but we're not really
just
assuming
costumes. It doesn't need to be it doesn't need to be a character actually. A costume, it could be like what's a shitcoin that's not a character?
like the personality inside of this. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Sort of like the
An
Browns,
inanimate
right?
object or different crazy things. It doesn't have to be coins. I just have a hunch it's going to be all tickers.
It's like, how would you dress up as Hex Token, right?
Yeah. Richard
You
Hart.
dress up as Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wear a tracksuit.
So depending on Left House's his schedule of estimated start time, we need to figure out, you know, when we're going to have these costumes and when the deadline of the donation date to influence what costumes there will be is going to be. So let's see, our offer is we're going to leave it up to donations to decide what costumes are going to be featured amongst or upon the skin of our 6 to 8 participants. And I was about to say who have not yet been decided, but let's not give them that information. Just the participants that are going to be in the show. Therefore, it's nonstop being featured. We can go ahead and say that it's going to be the live stream feature is going to work. So we'll have it to where it's live stream, it's interaction, and then also further production of an actual show with let's say 8 episodes, because we're going to shoot for 10 episodes. So like, let's say there's going to be 8 episodes and there's going to be live stream before 14 days worth of their brand exposure. Well, they might see it as a brand
or not
knockoff, but they also might see it as like dick with butt. Like they like that sort of thing would be open to just about anything that's not serious.
Oh, dude, guaranteed, Dick with Butts is gonna be one of the costumes. Do you think Dirty Turkey's gonna let that not be a costume on this? Dude,
Well,
that's
it
why
might,
this is such a good idea, dude. People are gonna get so competitive over this.
well, because we think of him as having huge potential for taking that spot. Let's go to him and figure out more.
Yeah, I can talk
have
to him.
more of our answers with his interaction.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'll reach out to him.
But yeah, like if we had it to where there was a video or just something that we could pass around to entice the meme communities, that would be cool. Because sometimes I get in the phase of like just wanting to go and shit post all over the place to make sure that whatever's going on gets seen. But also I know that some people have like some really creative ways of expressing an idea, and things connect with people in different ways. Like sometimes I talk to somebody and they're not enthusiastic about something, and I was just like, man, like I don't see why you don't see what I see, and then vice versa. Sometimes I don't see what it is that somebody's talking about, and I want sort of an example so that I can relate to it better.
Yeah, like
yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Like even Tang Gang, like there's so many people over there that, you know what I mean. Like, why wouldn't they want to have either a giant orange or a giant Tang juice
Kumamon or something?
You know what I mean? Running around as if I'm like
actually.
the fucking the Kool-Aid man, you know? So it's like
a Nana.
Yeah, or a Nana. Yeah.
I think an orange would be really entertaining with
oh dude, that'd be an annoying costume.
Yeah,
but it would be that's like perfect.
That's what makes it good.
You know what I mean? It's perfect.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying for the person that's in the costume. Trying to get through doors and get into stores to show some shit is
perfect.
That's
perfect.
Everybody's gonna have a problem every day trying to do that.
That's what I love about the costumes, is that people are going to assume the worst as you're approaching them, and so you really have to exercise some creative communication skills.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess like my first go-to would be like, all right, like I'm a part of a reality TV show, like we're doing extravagant things, so I've got something to tell you if it is that you're down to listen, or it's obviously pretty important if it is that I'm here for a reality TV show,
and I'm dressed up like this, like
yeah.
It's like I wouldn't if you do the orange for Tang Gang, it's like you might as well go to a grocery store, because one, you'll be able to fit, and then everybody's just gonna be like, why is there a big ass orange looking at apples in the grocery store?
Or what is it that's what are oranges eaten with?
Mouths.
Well, I'm thinking more like if you were the only juxtaposition in a space, what would that look like? Like maybe indoor trampolines. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Anything close knit. Physically, it'd be funny.
Well, cool guys. We've been going for an hour or something. I'm recording this over on YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Excuse my language, YouTube.
Mine too.
Oh, mine too.
But yeah, this has been a lovely chat. It's been fun. A lot of good ideas, I think.
Yeah, I'm so happy I caught you guys this time.
Yeah, I was watching Zuckerberg and Rogan, and then I was like, you know what? Let me see what's going on Twitter real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you as always, Eco Builder.
Yeah, thanks
I'll give you
to
a
y'all
follow,
for
man.
participating.
Yeah.
And I apologize about last night. I fell asleep. I knew that Left House and I needed to have a conversation, and so I was trying to push it to as soon as possible, but I just wasn't able to stay awake.
It's okay.
No, you're good, bro.
But this worked out.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, so like always, we're putting ideas down in the Telegram group, and then also y'all can communicate with me through DMs.
Nice, bro.
Sweet.
Wait, what's this group?
Let's see, it's called the Hex Guild now.
Okay.
I thought you were in it.
Am I?
Telegram group.
Telegram is so chaotic, dude.
Yeah, that's why you gotta mute everything else, and then just make sure that like you got like one channel that's unmuted. Even in the Hex Guild, I have everything muted besides the reality. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay.
And then also you can pin to the top too, so you can keep things, prioritize things.
Can you DM
Like-
me that Telegram?
Yes,
Okay.
most definitely. And anybody who would be straying and not know about it yet, t.me/hexfoodies is the URL. Okay, talk to y'all
All right,
soon.
bro. All right,
Thanks,
have a good
everybody.
night, man.
Good night, everybody.
Y'all too.
Good night, peace.